All right, and we are live. So, this evening on You Got This, we are going to be talking about beyond brute force. Beyond brute force. And this is really one of those things where you're shifting from the 99 perspiration concept into deep internal alignment. And what we're going to be talking about really is along the lines of at what point in time, whether it be an entrepreneurial journey or whether you're a manager and you've got to move along into more of a senior management role, work just doesn't cut it anymore. You cannot do enough hard work, brute force, and you have to start to shift your mind. So, welcome if you're joining us. I'm Stephen McConnell, and I am the CEO of Growth Mindset Initiative, author of the 7 Laws of Personal Mastery, where we talk about mind shifts, mindset. I love those concepts. And we talk about how we can level up, get better. Our co host is Laconia.
Good evening, beautiful people. I'm LaConya Reed. I am the founder and CEO of Choices International and So Say Me, an athletic brand where we focus on movement, mindset, and recovery.
Now, I know just kind of we were putting things together. You heard that for the first time. I saw some emotions flash across you. What you thinking? What you thinking, Laconia?
I thought about when you said brute force, and I really, the emotion was fatigue, the emotion was angst, anxiety, frustration. And the image that came to mind when you mentioned brute force, really about moving to the next level. When working hard just isn't enough, I thought about strategy. And so the thought that came to mind when you said that was this image of climb. And I'll tell you why it came, but was this image of climbing a mountain.
Mm,
And so, and what it took to climb a mountain. So it's been now 15 years. I was out the country. My sister and I, we went to Panama and we were rock climbing
mm,
for the first time. And that image flashed because my memories came up on my photos. 15 years ago on this very day, I was climbing, rock climbing a mountain. And when you said brute force, that imagery came back. And I remember back then in that moment, I was exhausted,
mm.
I was fatigued. The bell that we had to reach to ring seemed insurmountable.
Yeah.
So here it is, people are rooting for me. You can do it, you can do it. My body, my tennis elbow, my strength, my mental wit, all of it began to wane. I began to doubt brute force. And when you
Mm,
said in entrepreneurship, working hard, me struggling harder wasn't getting the job done. It wasn't until I finally calmed down to develop strategy about how to climb. I did not know that climbing, there is strategy. There's strength, there's stamina, and then there's strategy. And so when you said that the emotion was through, I just flashed back like I remember being frustrated, fatigued, tired, feeling disappointed, overwhelmed, scared, all of that. And then the next thing, after I allowed it to pass, Stephen, was a decision, and that was to make it, to make it. And so beyond brute force, we need strategy. And that's when I began to listen to the coaching, which is why what you do and even what I do is so instrumental for your audience is once they've done all they can do, now you need coaching who can guide you into strategy. So while climbing that mountain, Stephen, there was someone on the ground saying, step to the left, grab to the right,
yeah.
bend your body left, reach a little farther right, step to the right, pivot to the left, go straight up, things that I couldn't see. And I trusted the strategy, which actually became the support that I needed. And the end of that story, just like in entrepreneurship, is I reached the summit. I rang the bell, took everything out of me. But it was the strategy that got me to and through to the last leg. So brute force, at some point after you've done all you can do, now you need strategy to get you to the next level.
I love it. That's that. I have had so many different things. I'm like, oh, we got to talk about this. Oh, we got to talk about that. But just sitting there thinking about that is beautiful. It's a beautiful coaching metaphor, a beautiful mentor metaphor. Therapists. That's what we do. That's why we care so much. Um, with that said, though, the mindset during your story, did it need to change?
It did. So before I was thinking about, and this is so apropos to tonight's discussion, the mindset before really so apropos was I just wanted to do it because my big sister was doing it and I didn't want to be left out, right? I'm like, she's doing it, I'm doing it, we're doing it, yay. So sometimes we get into entrepreneurship because we see other people doing it. And we assume that our experience will be identical to their experience, not
Mm,
recognizing that we have varying strengths and weaknesses.
yeah.
So initially, I got into it because my older sister was doing it. Like entrepreneurship, somebody's doing it, I could do it. Fine. But the mindset that changed, I had to dig deep about why I was doing it. Why did I choose to cling to a mountain with no training, shoes, a safety harness on, and it was pure body strength, upper body strength to be particular, which I had none of or very little, to get me to a place that I had never been. I chose that I wanted that for my life experience, right?
Yeah.
And so the mindset was digging in and getting grounded. I'm gonna borrow from you, Stephen. It's really so say Stephen, not my North Star. And one of my core values that your book speaks about is being true to that North Star. And what I knew to be so for me, what I know to be so, is I'm not giving up on me. I am betting on me. So the mindset that changed was, despite this obstacle that's overwhelming for me, entrepreneurship is overwhelming. How do you move from here to there? It's big. You've never done it before. I had never encountered that before. I could not trust the mountain. I trusted me. The decision that I made, self, I say, so say me, talk back to yourself because you believe you. You're not giving up on you. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know when it's going to be done. I simply know that it is going to be done. And so the mindset that changed from the struggle, overcoming it, was a decision and a determination to do it.
Hmm.
And then that's when when I realized I didn't have know how. I couldn't see. I couldn't hold on and concentrate and look up. That's when strategy comes in because someone else who's outside of the situation, who have a bird's eye view, can guide you and direct you. And that happens so much in entrepreneurship. We're in the grind of it, Stephen. We're
Yep.
we're in it. We need that coach. We need that leader. We need that therapist who's outside of it with the bird's eye view, who can guide us on the next right step to get us to that point.
I love that. Yeah. And one of the things that I'd heard and I really liked was your bigger sister, she was there doing it, you were there doing it. Both experiences were totally different.
Yes.
And so the both mindsets, how you approached it was different. And this is very interesting to me because I find this a lot of times in coaching. I imagine I wonder if you encounter this during therapy, but a lot of times everybody knows the right way to go. The sequence is off. the sequence is off. And so it's just a matter of, well, I'm doing this one thing that he's doing. Why am I not successful? Well, you need to do this thing because this is where your strength lies.
Well said.
And I find that's I really loved that point that you had brought to us when you're approaching and you're getting ready to climb this mountain, rock climbing. You are two different people. You guys have two different mindsets. You have two
Yeah.
different sets of skills, and you beautifully said that in your story. Um, and with that, that's the power of good mentorship, the great people around you, and being able to pivot your own mindset instead of sitting there saying, oh, this is miserable. I can't do this.
Hmm.
Wait, I want to get to the top. I'm going to hold on for dear life, change my mindset, and then, okay, my mentor is telling me left foothold, gonna do
Yep.
it. Okay, my
Yep.
right, right reach, and that just is just such a beautiful analogy. I really do. I really think that that's a beautiful analogy for the brute force of,
Yes.
and if we take it off of rock climbing and go into something like entrepreneurship,
Yes.
entrepreneurship in particular is we as entrepreneurs have plenty of options to wake up every morning going, oh, I can't stand the tax work, oh, I can't stand social media posting, and we don't get the options if we did that. And what I mean by
Right.
options is if we wake up and say, well, my North Star is I need to reach the people in order to do this, and I need to make sure that my finances are in order to do this, keeping in mind, I am grateful to have this opportunity to do this for my North Star.
Right.
The options all of a sudden pop up. Well, wait a second. It becomes easier with social media because of this, and this. Becomes,
Right.
oh, okay, so I understand taxes now. When I can delegate it to somebody else, I'll know whether they're being true.
Right. And so one of the things that you speak to, which I completely agree, is entrepreneurship, like the rock climbing experience. You and I are both entrepreneurs, and we both have our rock or our mountain to tackle. And one of the disadvantages is if we compare, right? It's important to recognize
Yeah.
what we share in common, and that is like my sister and I. We're both in this country. We've both decided to do this. We're both going to tackle this task. And once we had that shared vision and mission, but the journey is unique and it's individual.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would say, so say me, is comparison creates competition. And the mindset that we have to consider is not to compete like I have to do it like this person at the same speed, at the same rate, the same way, because I will nullify and negate my own unique experience. Here it is 15 years later, and that story means something different to me than it does to my sister. So
Mm.
when I am going through hard times, a mountain, if you will, entrepreneurially, to your point, the taxes, payroll, setting up the structure, vendors, recruiting, retaining
Oof.
staff, supervision, oh, clientele, inventory,
Yep. Yep.
line items, profit and loss, all of the things, cost, goods of costs sold, all of the stuff that's unique to me at this season, at this time. Now, if I compare myself to, well, this person, they got it all together, then I rob me of the experience that's meant to strengthen me,
Exactly.
right? So I think that with entrepreneurship, we embrace it while it might be for lots of people or some people or whatever portion of people, that part is shared, but the journey is specifically designed for you. These shoes fit me, right? And so
Right.
it's necessary for us as entrepreneurs to compare ourselves, lest we get into competing. And that's not it. We have to follow our North Star, and that North Star will lead us, protect us, guide us, give us wisdom, strengthen us, and keep us inspired on our unique journey to the top. Thus, we all ring the bell.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. And one of the things that I thought of there when you were discussing that is how much energy are
Mm-hmm.
we defeating ourselves with if we were to wake up on that side where oh, I gotta do this thing, oh, we're literally fighting ourselves a daily battle of overcognition. Really, it's really what it is: overthinking and battling yourself, maybe sometimes describing yourself in interpretive ways, um,
Mm-hmm.
and then you drain and deplete yourself of the vital energy
Mm-hmm.
where you're not there. You have this brain drain. Yeah, have you ever had an argument with somebody and then after the argument you're just so tired, you're just so drained? This is the
Mm-hmm.
power of those energies, right?
Yeah.
And managing that, being able to say, let's stop here, let's stop battling ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
let's stop battling the brute force that we need,
Mm-hmm.
and shift the mindset to I'll just change it just a little bit, smart force. I
Oh, I like that.
don't know,
Okay.
it just
Okay.
popped
I
in my
like
head
that. I like that. Smart
because
force.
you still need to have the continuation of the not the motivation, but the momentum, not motivation,
Yes.
but momentum. And so you
Yes.
have to still continuously apply force, but
I like
it's
that.
in a smarter way because you're leveling up. It's, I guess if I were to change it, if I were to go to, what was it, Thomas Edison, 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration
Mm-hmm.
is what genius is. I
Mm-hmm. I
agree
like
with that, but as you level up a little bit further, it's almost as if you're going 2% inspiration, 98% perspiration, because
perspiration.
you're adjusting your mindset.
Yeah. So the question is, we know that we need to adjust our mindset, and I'm going to offer that we adjust our mindset at different stages of our evolution, right? So
Absolutely,
it's not
absolutely.
necessarily one fix because we
No,
have to know when to push, when to pull, when to pivot, when to pause, right? So we adjust it, which means we're always assessing what keeps us going though, Stephen. Like those, like that struggle, right? That climb in this entrepreneurship, it ebbs and flows. What is the fixed, if you will, mindset, the fixed firm belief? I'm borrowing your words because I love them. They work for me. The North Star that we need to hold on to. Do you think is important, imperative that some things in our thinking, in our consciousness, in our cognition remain fluid, yet while other things become stagnant and fixed
ah,
so that we can overcome?
I love it. Yeah, well, and that's the thing that I've experienced, and part of it's part of the book. It's part of, just like core values. Mindset is a skill that's practiced,
I like that.
and if you practice a skill, just like rock climbing, entrepreneurship, guess what happens? It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. Yes, you're going to have to use brute force at first, at 99% perspiration. Um, but you build and you start to hear your own mentor take over and say, left hand foot there, or hand hold there, and so forth. In the practice, when the going gets tough, the skill is built with endurance at that point.
Hmm.
And so I absolutely love that question because it made me really think about it. What we are practicing when we say mindset,
Mhm,
and both sides, honestly,
mhm,
what you focus on is what you get.
mhm,
And this is just one of those. psychological proofs of that. You know, we could go into the manifesting part of it if we really wanted to,
Mhm.
but let's just keep it in founded science, neuroscience. What you focus on is what you get because your mind simply looks for it.
Yes.
And it's a skill to continuously look for it. It's a skill to continuously problem solve. I would say almost another part of that would be a curiosity skill.
Hmm.
If I'm
So you
putting,
stay curious.
yeah, if I put too much brute force into this, why? How? What am I doing wrong? Let me reflect upon myself. Yeah, I think that that would be it. I think that that would just be the,
Because the reason why I'm asking is when I think about brute force, literally what comes to mind is it's not sustainable, right? Exhaustion, fatigue. In the gym, the term is muscle failure
yeah,
or go to failure, right?
yeah.
So it's not sustainable. I don't care. You can push for a while, even if you can push for 10 minutes or lift whatever weight, whatever it is, brute force is not sustainable. And so I'm just curious when in entrepreneurship, and some say somewhere between 3 to 5 years, you should start the first 3 to 5 years. Don't expect any profit, proceeds, or anything. You're just building the business, you're building the company, you're establishing the structure, the policies, procedures, and process. You're getting the people in place. All of that, a lot of that is brute force,
Mm.
right? Because oftentimes you're doing the doing. You learn to be the baker, the butcher,
Yeah.
the cook. I mean, you learn to do all of it brute force. And I'm just wondering the mindset. What is it that we tell ourselves at the unconscious, the subconscious level, that neuroplasticity, where we can keep going even when we are in fatigue, even when we don't have the energy to go, right? Because
Mm.
for me, Stephen, in this entrepreneurship journey, I guess I started maybe in a fish, well, really in 2012, 2012. And I said it right, 2012. 2013, I got the idea, started writing it out, and then been doing a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And quite frankly, in full transparency, I felt like forget it. I've not rung the bell. I'm still in the stage of brute force. I have these ideas, these ideas. How do I keep going? And sometimes I ask, girl, why are you still going?
Mm.
Like 20 officially started, it's been a decade. So even if I went with 2016, we're in 2026 and I am still in brute force. And so when I sit back and reflect, I'm asking the question, say, fine, I've overcome comparison, not all the time. That's the truth. Sometimes I look at other people's business and following them, and I'm like, wow, they blew up or got it running, and it's been 4 years. I'm at 10 to 12, right? When you compare, it takes your focus. I'm just letting you know it steals your focus. It
Hmm.
robs you
It
from
does. Yeah.
be careful, audience, not to do that. Take it from someone who's done it because then you start feeling defeated. You don't need any help with that. And so, Stephen, the question is when I sit back and it is 2026 and I'm still trying to make this thing go via brute force, that inside voice, that that fixed belief, it keeps whispering, right? Like bet on you, it's gonna happen. Bet on you, it's gonna happen. And every other thought, cognition that I am fluid with is who do I need to be to overcome this particular obstacle? But at the core is bet on you is going to happen. And so that's what I'm speaking to. There's some fixed beliefs that we
Mm.
have to lock in on, that everything else becomes the foundation. And it goes back to what you're saying, even the core values, right? sidebar, I was on vacation, and during vacation, I didn't miss work at all.
Mm.
Not a little bit, maybe. I forgot. I forgot. And here's what happened. I had a massage. I didn't know this. And the young lady, she said, my tension, my neck, my shoulders, and my back were so engorged, so tense, almost as if I were wearing earrings. And she said, you must carry a lot of stress.
Mm.
And it had become my norm that I didn't know that I was this, thinking that I was relaxed, right? And so I'm like, oh, why am I saying that? Because that's from that struggle. That's from that brute force. And so the part of me that I'm going to now incorporate is how can I, and that's when you know, beautiful people, how can I, or now that I'm this, get coaching, right? Their job is to help alleviate and to support some of that stress and strain of the climb to the top.
Yeah.
And so because I've been doing it by myself for whatever period of time without checking in periodically, being tense, not being able to relax, it clouds your vision, it
Yep.
shortens your thoughts, it limits your capacity, it drains your energy, it robs your focus, and you don't have creativity to figure out right, left, right, left to climb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
May I ask some questions about your question?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe this will be a small see what I can do as far as coaching is concerned. Um, what is your North Star?
My values.
So what your values, or where are you going as far as 10 years from now? I like to say 550 years from now, but we'll just keep it to 10. What's the one thing 10 years from now you're sitting down and you're thinking and you're surrounded by your loved ones and you said, I did this one thing and I am as proud as heck I did this one thing.
I stood up a practice that really helped hurting people heal, that can run independently without me doing the doing.
All right. So
Right?
so you've designed and built an autonomous practice that is of service to help people heal.
Yes. Well said.
Okay. So the next question I have is where's the brute force in the current moment?
The brute force in the current moment is me doing all the doing.
What specifically?
Okay. Specifically, let's say last month I did 97 sessions around. I'm saying no, is that right? Yeah, that's 100, almost 100 sessions a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people.
There you go.
That's a lot of hours. That's the brute force.
Yeah.
And what happens is because I love doing what I do, I don't feel the impact of what I do. I didn't know because what is it called? Shoulder
Yeah.
earring became my norm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that these shoulders go down. So seeing 97, no less than 80 people a month is brute force. It's too many people. And while I've been doing it, I've it's impacted me.
There you go. And so
That's the brute force.
that's the answer. you're a person of service. You love the service that you're doing. Your North Star is over here and not aligned. Your North
Yes.
Star is, I want this service that I'm currently doing so well to be autonomous.
Mhm.
So the question is at what point in time are you going to start to build the autonomous?
So this is so very good.
so, sorry, but this is
No, hey audience, listen. You all are getting. If you wanted to know what it's like to work with Stephen, here is an example. So enjoy the revelation for us all. Feel free to take it for yourself. So I'm going back to the mountain climbing, the rock climbing. When you ask, so I missed the line, and what is it going to take to get me over here?
mhm.
When I was rock climbing, the coach, i.e., Stephen audience, said they can see, but I couldn't. Reach to your right, reach the groove, put your fingers in that groove, and just hold on. And I felt imbalanced, but they were like, hold on. And once you do that, take your other hand, your left hand, and cross it over. Like they were giving me instructions how to get alive. I'm saying that to say I was on the mountain for a long time. I was on the rock for a long time. I was the last one. They just waited for me because I was afraid to let go, Stephen.
Mm.
I was afraid. I heard them. But what I didn't know this. I had, as uncomfortable as that discomfort was, I found comfort in that discomfort. So letting go of seeing almost 100 people a month to follow the North Star to build this autonomous practice is the equivalent of me letting go of this imbalanced position that I'm in that's creating all of this strain to trust the coach who can see what I can to say, Laconia, let that go. And I need you to focus over here. Put your right hand here and your left hand there. And so being afraid is what have me holding on, seeing as many people as I see, except I do understand your this is a great discussion for me. I have to let go. So what's keeping me is I'm afraid. Now on the rock, I don't know if I thought that I would fall. I don't remember if that's what I was thinking. I don't really know, so I can't speak to it. Um, but on the entrepreneurship side, there is a
Mm.
part of me that's like, if I don't see them and I don't have other clinicians yet to see them, they can't be seen. And if they're not seen, they go away. And if they go away, that drives revenue, that impacts business, that impact business. And my mind saying it aloud would be the equivalent of me falling off my mouth.
Mm. And so, yeah, then I would have the questions of what's comfortable. You don't have to let go of all 97. What is going to allow you to take one small step and decide this, in advance? Like, here's the small steps. And in this season, maybe it's 2 weeks, maybe it's um, 2 months. I am going to focus on this one task that helps me automate the service that I give. And in that way, I mean, it's one of the steps, at least for me, like I know being into the entrepreneurship, one of the steps is getting as many options that I possibly can in front of me. Do I do online courses? How can I see them? Do I do group coaching? Do I build a community? All of these different things, um, and get as many options in front of you. And then I believe that you're really good at this part. Just slice it down into really small, doable steps, plan it out, and then take the very next small doable step and say, I'm going to do this for the next 2 weeks, next 2 months, whatever it is, and knock it out of the park.
So that's a great. So my struggle is being consistent with that. So being gone, I was literally off grid when I went on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to going on vacation, the autonomous part of the practice, it had to run. So the things that I put in place, when I came back, it was almost like opening up the door. Is it still here? To find out that indeed it was, right? And so having that, now there was some oversight things that I did or put in place just in case. And I was like, this is what it means to run the business and not be in the business. And being back, still in that space, I have to make sure, to your point, that I stay on that side. See, I did what you were saying leading up to vacation. But once I get back, then those old behaviors
Mm.
creep in and I jump right back into the doing. And so I struggle between staying outside of it, overseeing the business, then stepping back inside of the business, which honestly, Stephen, going back to my rock climbing, that mountain experience, when you vacillate, this is for you audience, so you'll know when you vacillate, you prolong your own progress,
Mm.
right? So every time when the guys, they were the guys of the rock climbing, they would tell me to go this way. I would do it. They keep saying, keep following those rules, put your hand in there. I would get afraid and then put my hands in where I was comfortable, where I knew I could grab, what I knew I had some control or balance of. But the path to get me to the bell was away from what I had grown comfortable. And
Yeah.
so going back and forth, it took me so long trying to climb up that rock because I kept swaying. Sometimes I'm following, I'm like, okay, but it got higher, it got scarier, and my instinct went to grab to what I know, which then I had to start over. And so this week, today is just Tuesday, I have to make sure that I don't sway back over here in what's comfortable and stay over here so that I can continue moving to building an autonomous practice. And because I was actually out the country, the things that I put in place, my mindset said it has to work. I'm not going to be available. We don't have things in place that if I'm out the country, I'm accessible or can handle it or fix it, right? So the rest or the stress, I had to prepare for it as best that I could. But now that I'm back, I want to continue in that space and follow that North Star of providing this service, building and developing an autonomous practice that can serve and support the hearts of hurting people.
Mm.
That is what I would be most proud of.
I love that. I love that. And the one thing I heard was is that you already have a solution. Wake up every morning instead of just jumping in into brushing your teeth and getting whatever. Ask yourself, what can I do today so that I'm not available tomorrow and my business continues to run?
Yes,
And then dedicate a portion of the day towards that.
yes,
Yeah, I love that.
yeah. I want to just say though, for your audience, first, thank you for bringing me back to that,
Mm.
right? Sometimes, beautiful people, we get lost. We don't know that we're lost. We lose our way. And that's why that North Star, it's a beacon. It's very important to have someone in your ear, in your life, in your space to redirect you. Because we can be busy, being busy in the struggle of entrepreneurship, not knowing that we've slightly veered off course. And so, Stephen, thank you because I recognized it at afar, but couldn't really fully recognize it to internalize it so that I can begin to stay on track to building an autonomous practice because my brain would have registered that as a fluke.
Mm,
Meaning, oh, I did that one time, not realizing, hey, whatever the systems that I put in place, let's build upon it because it allowed the practice to run for 10 days in my absence.
yeah.
I would have registered as, oh, that was just a one time fluke. So thank you. So I'm saying that to your audience. Get somebody in your ear that can support you or redirect you or watching your process. So when you get off track, they can stop you, just like my friend Steven did. Stop me and say, wait, Laconia, what is your North Star? And you see, guys, I had to think about it. Like, oh, yeah, wait, where am I going again? And sometimes we need that, and absent of that, we create unnecessary struggle for ourselves in this journey. So thank you for
You're
that, Steve.
you're welcome. It's my service. I love doing it. You know,
You're good at it.
I love it. And we're gonna start wrapping this up real quick here. It's very important. I love this. I love how we went into an actual real life scenario. Um, and I also want to throw you some flowers. I love your storytelling. I love your ability to eloquate and just bring me along because I love the stories that that you're describing, the way you say them. You're obviously a good public speaker. So, but yeah, it's one of those where that's why I wrote the book. I wrote the book because the seven laws. I actually have it here. I wrote seven laws of personal mastery. I know Lacanya has already got hers,
I got that. We didn't discuss that. I'm back.
and it's just I was asking myself, what's the best thing for this world? How can we put it out there? How can we start letting people know that you got this? I'll just say the you got this. And I was doing deeper research. One of my main North Star, and I know Laconia knows this, is to solve world poverty.
Yeah.
And I love researching about that. One of the main things about I'm going off to be a geek on this a little bit about the book itself, the seven laws of personal mastery. It was designed to take anybody from anywhere in their lives and either provide them the focus to get them out of poverty, which is the absolute or relative poverty, or get them out of their circumstances and scenarios in the current moment, whether it be middle manager, CEO that's stuck, whatever, wherever, however. And while in absolute poverty, we know that we, at this moment in time, cannot give a glass of water to the thirsty always.
Right.
We do know of so many scenarios where I'll just say Oprah Winfrey because where she was in this really destitute situation her younger life, and she had met a couple people in her life to where she was able to provide focus for herself and get herself out of the situation. And in those circumstances, that deep drive to do so was a literal reversal of Maslow's hierarchy.
Yes.
Self actualization first, and then working on the environment, the people, and all of the other things that need to be addressed. It's not easy, and I'm not trying to say that it solves everything, but it's just an absolute pleasure. It's absolute gratitude to just simply know that I'm working on it. I don't, if I don't do it, I don't do it. But like, and that's where I want to go. That's my North Star. That's what
Yeah.
lights me up. That's what every morning or every time I start speaking negatively to myself, I'm like, no, no, no. This is what I've got to do. And you're right. It's something that visits. We let our guard down. We get a good massage. I've never had a massage, but but we relax just enough, and those old neurons that are used to firing fire.
Yes.
And it's just like holding on to that side of that cliff and the
Yeah.
comfortable, not so comfortable, but known handholds, because
Yeah.
you know the handholds are there.
Yeah.
And this whole conversation sparked something in me. This is why I'm continuing to go on. But we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I loved this conversation tonight. You came in with some additional fire. I appreciate that. I loved it.
I missed it.
So
Yeah.
I'm Stephen McConnell, CEO of Growth Mindset Initiative. And check out the book if you're interested, Seven Laws of Personal Mastery, and Laconia, my co-host.
I am Laconia Reed, founder of Choices International, a group mental health practice, and So Say Me, an athletic brand designed for mindset, movement, and recovery.
All right. Everybody have an awesome week. Take care.
Indeed. Until next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.